The Human Be-In was a monumental event that launched San Francisco's famous Summer of Love on January 14, 1967. The event was announced on the cover of the 5th issue of the San Francisco Oracle as a gathering of the tribes for a human be-in. The occasion? A California law slammed upon the people that banned any use of the famous and popular psychedelic drug, LSD. Inspired by the numerous sit-ins of African Americans and civil rights supporters to further the cause of equal rights and heighten awareness of the fight for equality throughout the southern U.S. The minds behind the Human Be-In took cues from the leaders like Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King Jr. in terms of peaceful protesting. Michael Bowen and Alan Cohen heard the unrest of the people at nearby universities of Berkeley and Stanford and decided to make an event for the rights to explore a higher level consciousness through the use of LSD without legal consequences. Cohen and Bowen then organized a gathering of the tribes, and they began gathering a list of speakers and musicians for the largest peaceful protest that reflected the popular mantra of both the hippie community and the anti-Vietnam War efforts. Question authority.
With somewhere between 20,000 and 30,000 people streaming into Golden Gate Park, a host of luminaries took the stage to share their message with the masses. Humans of all walks of life, from infants to adolescents to elderly, gathered to hear speakers like Allen Ginsberg and Gary Snyder give addresses to the people. Beat poet Allen Ginsberg, after hearing about the Harvard research projects, wanted to join in. Leary's experiment involved trials of LSD to find its therapeutic properties for use in psychiatry. Once a professor from Harvard, Timothy Leary spoke to the people and gave them the free love movement, the slogan they had been waiting for. Turn on, tune in, drop out. Throughout the next several years, students would allow his advice to turn on, tune in, and drop out across the U.S. In a 1988 interview with Neil Strauss, Leary stated that the slogan was given to him by Marshall McLuhan during a lunch in New York City. Leary added that McLuhan was very much interested in ideas and marketing, and he started singing something like "Psychedelics hit the spot, 500 micrograms, that's a lot," to the tune of Pepsi commercial of the time. Then he started going, tune in, turn on, and drop out. The phrase was used by Leary in a speech he delivered at the opening of a press conference in New York City on September 19, 1966. It urged people to embrace cultural changes through the use of psychedelics and by detaching themselves from the existing conventions and hierarchies in society.
Turn on meant go within to activate your neural and genetic equipment. Become sensitive to the many and various levels of consciousness and the specific triggers that engage them. Drugs were one way to accomplish this end. Tune in meant interact harmoniously with the world around you. Externalize, materialize, express your new internal perspectives. Drop out suggested an active, selective, graceful process of detachment from involuntary or unconscious commitments. Drop out meant self-reliance, a discovery of one's singularity, a commitment to mobility, choice, and change. Unhappily, Leary's explanation of this sequence of personal development were often misinterpreted to mean get stoned and abandon all constructive activity. The group peacefully sat in the park and took a single dose of LSD all at the same time. Following a couple of speeches, local musician Janis Joplin and rock group The Grateful Dead performed a free concert. The hippie counterculture, striking out against the values of the previous generation by encouraging communal living and drug use to attain higher consciousness, suddenly realized it could come together in large numbers.